All right, what up, everybody? So we got some what if books that came out. We got this one and then this one, which I'll do later. But this one is it's different because of who writes it. So Jerry Conway writes it. If you don't know who he is, he was behind a lot of really big Spider-Man stuff, particularly Gwen Stacy's death, stuff like that. Around that era. He's kind of gone off the rails. He been saying some really weird things on Twitter, but I don't know. It's hard to not respect him for what he's done in the writing area. So I just will review this book, for what it is, and it is pretty good. What If you don't know was a really good line, a monthly book where they just told different kind of versions of stories. There's one like, what if the Punisher had killed Spider-Man? That was a really good one, actually. I think that was the first what if book I ever read. This one is what if Flash Thompson became Spider-Man. And I guess somebody's pointed out that's already been done before, actually. I don't remember. I didn't read that one. I just read this one. And this one's pretty good. It's really interesting. I really like how it was written. I'm going to go into it. So there'll be spoilers and stuff. I would say if you're looking for recommendation, definitely pretty good. This one's good. Really good. Pick it up. So it picks up, you see Flash being a hero, kind of, right? The thing is, and they explain it, Flash, and there's Peter, which I didn't, well, they do explain why he's taking pictures, but Flash didn't have that moment, the great power, great responsibility. So what is Flash doing? He becomes a hero. And it's for the same reason, he enjoys being the jock, the big star football player, for the attention and for the love. He always sees himself as a hero and he tries to be one, but you see, from this punch, he's still brute force, no pulling punches. He's being reckless and violent. He's not an effective hero like Peter was, who tries to save everybody, who tries to minimize collateral damage. He tries to do everything right, and the failings are what makes him strive to be a better hero. Flash is just like a wrecking ball hero, no responsibility, just, out for the fame and glory, but hides his identity. And there's some really cool stuff in here, actually. So there's this scene, you see so we see the Unseen here. He's the new Watcher. And we see this scene here where he's like Peter, he was trying to make money too, but he still saw himself as a hero. You see the thief, this is the big scene here. He actually stops him, and we see him here just basking in the glory. There was a difference, though, with Jameson, where his son died, where Peter had saved him, and he kind of just, instead of hating Spider-Man, comes off and just absorbs himself in hero worship, sees the violent tendencies of the Flash Spider-Man as a good thing, an effective action, as he calls it. And what I thought, he quits school and he becomes Spider-Man full-time. He does this full-time, but he lives like a bum. And this lady's shoving it in his face, saying oh, you used to be a star, but you're a loser now. Look what happened to you. And this gets him upset. Now, what I thought was really cool is Peter shows up and tracked him down. And what's going on is Aunt May has a form of cancer, and she's dying. And you saw him with Uncle Ben, and Peter tracks him down and goes to him, and he's like, I need your help to stop the master planner, which is Dr. Octopus. We find that out. And Peter's in there, and he's mad at him. He's oh, you ruined my life with those pictures you've taken. Everyone thinks I'm a violent thug. And uncontrollably, because he doesn't pull his punches, he punches him so hard, he knocks himself into the back, and he actually kills Peter Parker. And that was a really cool spin. You see later on in the book, he ends up fighting Dr. Octopus, and we get that scene. He ends up fighting Dr. Octopus, and he pulls down the roof of the building, and gets trapped under some rubble. And there's a really cool line by the Unseen where he talks about like some things, repeat themselves because they're so important in every reality. And this is like his moment. This is a really iconic moment. They actually used it in Homecoming. Peter's trapped underneath some rubble and he's doubting himself, and he ends up believing in himself and pushing, all of the stuff off of him. And this is Flash's moment in that. He's like, why am I doing this? I'm just a bully, a killer. And you see like he's reflecting on Peter Parker, and he ends up pushing the stuff off of him. He ends up getting the stuff, cures Aunt May, but he turns himself into the police at the end of the issue to do the right thing. Now that is really cool. And that's where it ends. So this is really good. Conway's still really effective. He wrote the first part of Renew Your Vows, which was really good too. He's just kind of mean now. Kind of a jerk on Twitter. But, can't take away from the man for what he does. So, I don't know. If you're looking for like some old school flavor, even the art in this book was kind of old school looking. This is good. It was a fun story. I liked it. It really captured, the essence of, I think, one of the greatest characters in fiction. And, he put a spin on it. So it was fun. I liked it a lot. Let me know what you think in the comments, though. What you thought about this. If you've read it, too. What do you think about it? What do you think about Jerry Conway? And like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out my Twitch. Check out my Patreon. If you're enjoying my content. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.